global happenings today. We communicate, we analyze global news. Stay tuned.
It is taxing galore. Taxation has begun in full earnest in this administration. I'm talking about President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration, as Nigerians are screaming and still trying to understand the whole idea of cybersecurity levy. Apparently, those living in Abuja are beginning to feel the vibes and the heat. And even those operating helicopters and private jets are already screaming because the taxes has begun. Well, my colleague is in the house. Welcome to our channel. We're going to go through this and find out exactly what Nigerians are facing. Apparently, when Bola Ahmed Tinubu went through his campaign promises that he's going to increase the net of taxation, Nigerians didn't understand what he meant. It's getting clearer. Now, according to the news, FCT's 5% tax on private school, they said will kill business, school owners cry. And the imposition of 5% annual tax on private schools in the Federal Capital Territory, FCT, will be injurious to business and drive the school owners to cut out of business. They'll drive them out of business. Now, the submission was made as some few hours ago in Abuja by the National Association of Proprietors of Private School, NAPS, reiterating its immediate reaction when the measure was announced in January. And the Department of Quality Assurance of FCT's Education Secretariat announced the measure in January, after which the association pleaded with FCT Minister Mr. Nyesom Wike to intervene and reverse the measure. In the tax regime, each school would be charged according to the level of tuition fees paid by students and pupils, as well as the number of children on its register. Now, speaking with the news, FCT chairperson of NABS, Mrs. Rukayat Agbola, said the Education Secretariat had refused to respond to its rejection of the measure. We made our dissatisfaction over the policy known, even as we were not told about the tax in writing. The Secretariat thereafter sent a circular that its next plan of action was to revert to the old dues. Some of us even owed debt on the old dues, and we were advised to start clearing them. The Secretariat did not say anything again on the 5% tax. It has kept quiet on it, and we have also kept quiet, she said. Agbola expressed dissatisfaction at the turn of events and argued that rather than the new tax imposition, the school owners ought to enjoy government grants to assist in the training of indigenous students who desired education. Schools in rural areas where there is no government presence should enjoy the grants the more. But for those schools, children in the suburbs will not be exposed to Western education. The tax will also create additional burden on the parents and school owners. My colleague is in the house. Of course, we also look at the fact that the landing fee for helicopters has moved, and FG is levying about $300 on each landing fee. Now, according to it, very quickly, helicopter operators have rejected FG's federal government's $300 levy. There are strong indications that some helicopter operators may refuse to pay the $300 landing fee introduced by the federal government through its concessionaire. That's the concept. A source says some of the operators have voiced concerns about the new fee, noting that they have also indicated interest in joining the Airline Operators of Nigeria to frustrate the efforts of this organization, NAIBE, the company given the right to collect the levy. Could go on and on. What's your take?
Well, the issue of taxation has come to stay. So I saw Rufai Hussaini saying government buy taxation for taxation and buy taxation, and I saw it and I laughed because we are just starting it. I'm a little bit troubled based on what we are seeing because this is not helping our economic activity. Someone said the time will come that they will have to tax smart people or people roaming the street. I don't know how they'll call that one, maybe roaming tax or whatever. But however, looking at what is happening in Abuja is a message that Wike is trying to send across to other states of the Federation. Being that these guys have been making a great deal of profit
as the private school owners,
private
right?
school,
Yeah.
and but one of the things that they must always consider is that they are end users of this product. They will be the people
That
that
will
will
pay.
suffer the penalty. Now they are paying taxes in different areas of their life. just to send your child to school, you have to pay tax again, because the imposition of this tax means indirectly the tax will be shifted, tax burden will be shifted into the school fee. So there will be a case of after they will tell you the school fee, say, sir, this is how much we are paying as our school fee. The man will charge them on that. They will come back to the school. This is something that is very easy. They will come back to the school and they will find a particular activity and will now put that money on top and say maybe something like child resuscitation, brain resuscitation, whatever they name the schools would like to put it. And the next thing they say, it goes for 2,000 naira. And the parents will pay. So they won't be losing anything. For me, they won't have to go, burden themselves rebelling or talking, because they just know how to shift this. We have to understand that Nigerians are the common man on the street is the one that's going to suffer all of it. No matter how you increase the taxes, the businessmen have nothing to lose. In as much as I am selling a product of necessity, the end users are the ones to pay for it. You understand?
So
So,
literally, sorry to cut you short,
okay.
they may reduce their school fees and put those charges somewhere else, maybe like ICT charge,
Yeah, they'll
just
just up
break
the
it
price.
a bit.
Exactly.
But the
Now,
school fees will be so minimal, since they will
yeah,
tax them on the school fees.
exactly. Now that's what a lot of schools were doing before. Now, even in the banks, sorry, in some companies, such thing had happened. Tax allowances are there, so they push the things to where they know that the taxes will not come on, what they're paying their people. So I think that's the next thing they're going to do. They'll make these things, for those who are smart enough, they'll make the school fee very small. But for others who are not smart, they have a way of still recouping back that money into their system. So that's the situation. Even for the helicopter user or this thing owners, it's a simple thing. Whoever that is coming to rent your helicopter, you know what to do. So you just increase it for him, and knowing that as you are landing, I'm paying 300. So we will incorporate that 300. So we'll be looking, if for example they were paying for each person who rents a helicopter, they were paying as much as maybe $1,000. They'll increase it to $1,300
Oh
and they'll pay
dear.
it then. So the whole thing boils down to the people, the end users of this thing. The situation is not going to be funny. I tell you the truth. Unfortunately, we are being faced with a tax master, someone who is very intelligent when it comes to tax, and he knows how to handle these issues.
Just like Madi Shehu said quite recently, he said, we are waiting for the introduction of taxes on atmospheric oxygen.
Of course.
He said they will also tax us on carbon dioxide, on cemeteries, on rural
Exactly.
and
You
urban
don't breathe
roads.
anyhow. You don't come and stay in Nigeria and be breathing anyhow. You pay for
He
oxygen.
said even for your parties, on all parties you attend, even the Buga dance you will dance, or whether you perform or not, even naming and marriage ceremonies, you're going to pay taxes on it, or traditional and cultural ceremonies, even church, mosques. He said
Churches are going
everybody
to start paying
He said
very soon.
everybody one way or the other, that whatever the case is, according to, I'm just quoting him, I said Bola
Okay.
and Co can have enough for the 2027 election. Carry the balance to the graves and use same to intimidate angels. But
Okay.
whatever the case is, we are having a situation in our hands. And I feel that this is just introduction to the main taxation. We have not
Yes.
started yet.
We
This
are
is just
gonna
about
we
1 year into its tenure.
Yeah, because already he's seeing that unfortunately Nigerians are able to cope with every move he takes. So he wants to push us harder. But unfortunately, pushing us harder,
We are adjusting better.
we are adjusting, and the big boys are there enjoying themselves, because all of these things we are talking about, guess what? Even the issue of that taxation on that's the cybersecurity stuff and all of that. I tell you the whole truth that there will be exemptions for politicians. They will, during such transfers, they will just meet the bank manager and say, in my own app, this is what you have to do on my app. I can't be paying this amount of money, and they will be exempted. So the whole thing, still politically exposed people will not be touched. It's still the poor dudes out there that will have to, go through all this pain. I think after the 8 years, Nigeria will know that truly they are now faced with a leader who is out to suck them dry. But however, that's the situation we've seen ourselves.